You've heard the expression, when a butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil, it causes a tornado in Texas. You can insert any two locations into that expression and you get what is called the butterfly effect, the concept that small events can have large, widespread consequences between two or more seemingly unconnected entities.
Hi, I'm Doug Kuett. A buyer of United States real estate is that butterfly. A real estate purchase puts into motion a string of events that moves economies around the world. In the next 5 movies in this series, you'll learn why we define value in 5 different ways: assessed value, market value, appraised value, comparative market analysis or CMA, and the automated valuation model on websites like Zillow. You know it as a Zestimate. But first, let's continue with that one purchase. Hope you enjoy the series.
It starts here with a home purchase. The effect of that home purchase fans out in dozens of directions, but we can divide those into 3 different areas. Starting with a home buyer who either used a loan or cash to purchase the property. That buyer, now property owner, over time makes many other purchases related to that property. Furniture, home improvements, appliances. The list is endless and it supports entire industries. In time, there was equity or cash in that property by paying down the loan and hopefully a rise in the property's value. The homeowner uses that equity to buy a car, finance an education, or a business, again, spreading the consequences of that property purchase. Now let's look at the second area affected by those butterfly wings. If a buyer purchased the property using a bank loan, and most purchases are done with loans, the bank who lent the money is paid a fee on the loan. That fee supports the bank, its employees, and stockholders. This is where it gets interesting. The bank typically borrowed the money to lend to you. Once they have done the job of making sure you are a good credit risk, they sell your loan into a marketplace called the secondary market. There are 3 government-sponsored enterprises, or GSEs, that buy the majority of these loans: Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae, and Freddie Mac. These 3 organizations assemble hundreds of mortgage loans together as investment vehicles called mortgage-backed securities. These securities are sold worldwide. Buyers are governments, retirement funds, insurance companies, and any number of institutions that buy and sell MBSs as a commodity. These buyers of mortgage-backed securities like that underneath these MBSs are property owners who have been checked out by a bank and the property value has been certified by an appraisal. So a pretty safe investment. An investment that is greatly responsible for the unprecedented rise of the American middle class since the 30-year loan was introduced by the Federal Housing Administration in 1934. Butterflies are looking pretty powerful, aren't they? I know what you're thinking. What happened to this system in 2008? Over a 20-year period, the fundamentals of the banking system that made this work were altered. We've gotten back to some of those fundamentals and stability. I've got a pretty good take on what happened, but I'll save that for another movie. For now, let's go back to the third butterfly effect of buying a house. Taxes, a much maligned word, sometimes deservedly so. Taxes are the price we pay for a civilized society. That quote came from former Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes, Jr. He is referring to the quality of life and security generated by tax revenue. Every state and federal government have some form of tax revenue generated by real estate. That revenue funds roads, water treatment plants, and schools. It funds police and fire departments. You get the picture. No man is an island. If you want to drive from the East Coast to the West Coast, you can't build the road yourself to take you there. Government builds that road funded primarily from taxes. It takes a lot of butterflies. So now you know how real estate benefits you, how it benefits the local businesses around you, and how it benefits society, and how it forms the foundation blocks for the world's economies. But I can hear you now. Doug, all this is great, but what's in it for me? How do I determine the value of my property, or the value of the property I want to buy? Most people think they know the answer to that question. There are 5 different ways to do this. In the next 5 movies, I'll show you. I'll even cover Zillow's Zestimate. You'll find this series on the Doug Kuett Real Estate Facebook page. Not a Facebook user? The 5-part series is on the Doug Kuett YouTube channel. Those 5 ways to value property are just waiting for you. You can also find this on my website, dougkuett.com. I promise to make this interesting and fun. Thanks for listening. I'm Doug Kuett.